Okay. Who have been meeting their mentors regularly and would like to tell us how he's benefiting from the mentorship program? Regularly. Okay. And who benefited from the mentor and can explain to others why they should see their mentors?
لا 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 كل ما
Who would like to share with us something useful about the mentorship program? Yes?
Yeah, my mentor is Lucas.
Can we listen to your colleagues?
My mentor is Dr. Stephanus. I used to go to him once or twice a week, talking to him, getting some advices, either in studying, in my personal life, because I live away from my family, so I need to get advices from someone older than me. And he helped me going through a rough time with my family or my brother. So yeah, he helped me a lot. That's the idea. And now I share the good and bad news with him usually, and he's a nice person actually.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Yes. So your mentor is basically a person who will listen to you and who will try to advise you. Okay, he's your advisor. He will tell you what to do, with your, not tell you what to do, give you advice on how to study well, what to do if you are failing courses, how can you improve your marks. Basically, he's someone who can listen and give you advice. Okay? And today, at the end of the lecture, we will have someone from the peer mentors. I'm sure you received the email about peer mentors. Unfortunately, not many of you want to have a peer mentor. I'm not sure why. You know what's a peer mentor, right? It's someone that is senior to you who can give you advice. So like a year 5 or a year 4 student who can give you advice about study tips, etc. So at the end of the lecture, someone from the peer mentor program will come and talk to you about it, okay? Enough mentorship program, now we have smallship program. Yes, smallship, this is my job here to teach you more. Okay, so, can you please remove your cell phone? I'm not going to take the attendance till the end of the class, so please remove your cell phone. I don't want to see any cell phones. شيلوهم بالمرة. خبوهم هيك. خليهم يختفوا. Yes, yes. Because I want your full undivided attention. Where are the rest? في شي نص الصف طاير.
رسبوا
لا مش معقول. رسبوا بس مداومين. Did we remove our cell phone? شلنا الموبايل، الجوال، السلولار، النقال، المحمول. بعرف له كلمات. هذا حشيله ورا. الجوال لو سمحت شيله. نشيله نهائيا.
كلهم يعني
كلهم يعني كلهم. Okay, so today we're going to talk about complex lipids. I don't want to spend time on the classification of lipid and what makes lipids complex, but as the name indicates, complex lipid means that they have lipid and something else in them. Okay? Why you need to know about complex lipid? You're not going to be biochemist, but there are diseases, okay, where some enzymes are deficient and people can have accumulation of lipids in the lysosomes. So that's why you need to know about complex lipids. Okay? So we're going to talk briefly about what are the complex lipids so that you can understand these diseases. Okay? But your focus should be on the diseases themselves. I forgot to put the objective slide, never mind, I can do it later. Okay, but the first complex lipid we're going to talk about is phospholipid. I'm sure you all know of phospholipid. You studied it in high school. How many of you know what is a phospholipid? Raise your hand. Okay, so basically, as the name indicates, when you hear the name phospholipid, what does it mean? A lipid that has a phosphate group. And from your high school, where do the phospholipid exist? Inside the plasma membrane. What is special about that makes them compatible with the plasma membrane?
They have hydrophilic side, hydrophobic side.
Yes, and then the word amphipathic. What does amphipathic mean?
They are both hydrophilic.
Yes, so they have a part that loves water and the parts that hate water. So that's what they look like. Okay? So they have a head that what likes or hate water. The head
Likes.
So the head is hydrophilic. بعد في جوالات نشيلهم. The head انتبهوا كلهم يعني كلهم. So the head is hydrophilic. It means the head can face the water, okay? And the tail is hydrophobic. It will turn away from water. That's why phospholipid in the plasma membrane, they form the what? Double layer, okay? And the hydrophobic tail is inside, hiding away from the water, and the hydrophilic head is facing the water from both sides of the membrane. Now we're going to talk about the composition of this phospholipid. So the part that hates water is going to be pure lipid, and this is going to be fatty acids. So here in these two structures, the tail, the hydrophobic tail, we have the fatty acids. Okay? These fatty acids are attached by ester bond to a glycerol, and this will make them a specific type of phospholipid. We call them glycerophospholipids, because we have phospholipids where we don't have a glycerol in the backbone. So if you have glycerol in the backbone, we call them glycerophospholipids. Okay, you know what's glycerol, so? How many carbon we have in glycerol? 3, okay, and glycerol is classified as which molecule?
Alcohol.
It's an alcohol. Why is an alcohol?
OH.
Has OH, okay? So basically, because it has OH, we call it alcohol. It's a 3-carbon alcohol, glycerol, and it forms the backbone of the phospholipids, to which we have 2 fatty acids attached, and we have, because it's a phospholipid, we will have a phosphate group. Okay, so the phosphate group is here, and we have the polar head. The polar head is going to be different for the different phospholipids, as we will see later. Okay, so basically a phospholipid has 2 fatty acids that form the tail. It has a backbone alcohol molecule, which is usually glycerol, but it could be something else. It has a head that is hydrophilic, and it has a phosphate group. That's why we call them phospholipids. So besides that being in the plasma membrane, they, in the plasma membrane, their function is not only to have as a structural support of the plasma membrane, but also they can do things because some proteins will attach to them. So they serve as anchors for proteins, and also they store intracellular messages. So they are reservoir for intracellular messengers. Okay. So this is the membrane phospholipids. But also we have some phospholipids outside the plasma membrane, okay? And these can have other important functions, like they can be in the bile. You know what's the bile?
Yes, secreted by the liver.
Yes, you took it in GI. So bile, an essential component of bile is phospholipids. You studied this with Dr. Peter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know already what's a phospholipid from the GI block, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And also, they could be in the lung. So it is present in the lung surfactant. What's a surfactant?
Reduces surface tension area.
Okay, so it's a compound that removes the surface tension area in the lung, in the alveoli, stuff. So a major constituent of the lung surfactant is going to be a phospholipids. And we're going to talk in more details about this later, because the lungs maturity is something that happens later in the embryonic development. Did you study this in embryology?
Yes.
Okay, so what will happen with premature baby?
Collapse of
Who can tell me one they will have respiratory distress syndrome because they will have immature lung because they don't.
You don't have the surfactants or the hemocyte 2 deficiency.
Okay, so they don't have the right amount of or right composition of the surfactant. Okay, so they might have a respiratory distress syndrome, and this can be prevented by giving the pregnant mother what?
Surfactant.
They can give her either surfactant or some steroid like dexamethasone. You know, if a mother is at risk of premature birth, they can give her an injection to accelerate, yes, that's the word, to accelerate the lung maturity. Okay? So we'll come back to this later. So now we need to remember that phospholipids, they are mainly present in the plasma membrane, but also they are important in the function of the body because they are present in the bile, they are present in the lung surfactant, okay? In the phospholipid, of course, you have to have phosphate. The backbone molecule could be glycerol, and we're going to call them glycerophospholipid, as we will see in the future slides. Or the backbone molecule could be something called sphingosine, that we will talk about later. Okay, so this is the basic structure of a phospholipid. So these two are phospholipids. So to have a phospholipid, of course, you have to have a phosphate and a lipid. The lipid اللي هو الفاتي acid. The backbone could be glycerol, and this will form the glycerophospholipid, or it could be sphingosine. Has anyone heard of sphingosine before?
Yes.
No? Yes?
Yes.
What is sphingosine?
The myelinated sheath.
It's present in the sphingomyelin. Okay, so sphingosine, it's a molecule that is derived from a fatty acid and the amino acid, does anybody know? Serine. Okay, so it's a combination of it's made from a fatty acid and the amino acid serine. Okay, so this is a sphingosine that could act as a backbone in phospholipids, so like glycerol. The traditional example has always been glycerol and phospholipid, but the backbone could be also sphingosine. Okay, so here we have a sphingosine molecule, and in this case we call a special type of phospholipid, we call it sphingomyelin. If we have a glycerol, we call them phosphoacylglycerol or glycerophospholipids. Okay, so always look to the parts in the name. Okay. So this is a sphingosine in comparison to glycerol. So it's much bigger molecule. So there's a fatty acid and there is a part taken from serine. Here it's just 3 carbon alcohol with the 3 OH. Okay, so now we're going to focus on glycerophospholipids. So glycerophospholipids, they have glycerol in their backbone. What is the simplest glycerophospholipid? It's phosphatidic acid. So what is phosphatidic acid? It's basically the 2 fatty acids. Okay, the glycerol backbone and the phosphate group without having another molecule, another hydrophilic head. So only phosphate. Why you need to know about phosphatidic acid? It is from phosphatidic acid that we make all the other phospholipids. Meanwhile, the other phospholipids, we have different examples. Why you need to know about them? Because lecithin or lecithin, depending on which pronunciation you like, so lecithin is actually phosphatidylcholine. What is phosphatidylcholine? Who can tell me? It's a choline plus phosphate group. So what is choline? It is this molecule, you don't need to know the structure, and it will act as a head for the phospholipid. Okay? So phosphatidylcholine is basically a phosphatidic acid to which we have attached a head that is made of phosphate and choline. Okay, so so we call this lecithin. So it has 2 names: phosphatidylcholine or lecithin. Okay, so it's basically a combination of choline and PA. What's PA? The abbreviation for phosphatidic acid. And what is phosphatidic acid? This molecule, the precursor molecule for all phospholipids. Okay? So besides lecithin or lecithin, you need to know about cephalin, because cephalin is, as the name indicates, cephal is present where?
In the brain.
In the brain, okay. So where is lecithin present? It is the most important component of the lung surfactant, okay? So lecithin is the most important component of the lung surfactant. So it is the type of phospholipid that is present in the lung surfactant that we were mentioning before. Okay, so all phospholipids are derived from phosphatidic acid, okay, by the addition of different groups. So if you add choline, you get phosphatidylcholine. If you add serine, you get phosphatidylserine. If you add glycerol, you get phosphatidylglycerol. So all these are phospholipids. Another type of phospholipids, which is slightly bigger molecule, it's called cardiolipin. Okay, cardiolipin, why cardio? What does it mean? Heart. Cardiolipin is not only present in the heart, but it was first described in the heart, okay? But cardiolipin are very important molecule, and I will tell you in a minute why you need to know about them. Okay, so look at the structure of cardiolipin. What can you see? How many? It has two molecules of phospholipids. Okay, so it has two phosphatidylglycerol. That's why we call it diphosphatidylglycerol. So we have two molecules that have glycerol backbone, and they have the head is also made from glycerol. So in this molecule, the backbone is glycerol, and the head is glycerol, and we have two of them. This is one, can you see it here? And this is the other one. And they are linked together also by what? What's this molecule? By glycerol. Okay? So we have two phosphatidylglycerol which are linked by another glycerol. They form this molecule that is called cardiolipin. Okay? So why you need to know about cardiolipin? Cardiolipin is present in both in bacteria, certain type of bacteria, and also in our cells. Okay? In our cells, where is it present? It's present in the ETC. What's ETC? Electron transport chain. So it's present in the inner mitochondrial membrane. Okay? It is very important for the function of ETC. So it is the cardiolipin is a type of phospholipid that is present in the inner mitochondrial membrane, and it is antigenic. What do we mean by antigenic?
Depends on the blood. Antigen of the blood.
Antigenic means the body will produce antibody against it. There's something different here, unusual. What is cardiolipin? Is it a sugar, a protein, or a lipid?
Lipid.
It's a lipid. But antibodies will antigen are they for what? For proteins. Sugar? Sugar. Okay, so when we talk about antigen antibodies, we talk about proteins. Huh? So proteins are usually antigenic, but this is an exception. We have a lipid that is antigenic. So the body produces antibodies against a lipid, and this lipid is cardiolipin. Okay, why you need to know about cardiolipin? There is this nasty sexually transmitted disease that's called syphilis, and it's caused by the bacteria. You don't need to know the name of the bacteria, but it's written here, Treponema pallidum. Okay, so this is the bacterium that causes syphilis, and because this bacteria has cardiolipin, so a test for syphilis would be to look for the antibodies, okay, for cardiolipin, okay? So if you have a patient and you're suspecting that he has the sexually transmitted disease, you could order for him cardiolipin antibodies. This is one. Two, we said we have it in bacteria and also in the electron transport chain, so? And in some type of autoimmune disease, there are different types of autoimmune disease, but one of them is SLE. Okay, we learned about SLE in Mol 1, so? And we said we have one type of SLE where we have autoantibodies against what?
Immune system.
Spliceosome, yes, or spliceosome. But also you could have autoantibodies against cardiolipin. So you can order ACA, which is anti-cardiolipin antibodies. So this is an autoimmune disease, in SLE, but other autoimmune disease, the patient can have ACA, anti-cardiolipin antibodies. So they have antibodies against their own cardiolipin. This is why we call it autoimmune disease. مش تروحوا على البي او دي ناسين كل شيء مولكيولر. أنا امبارح سامعة إنه بتروحوا أنتوا على البي او دي كانوا حياتهم ماخدين مولكيولر. حتى البي سي ار والار اف ال بي وهدول كلهم بيكونوا خلاص راحوا تبخروا. I don't know why. Sorry?
Summer vacation.
Summer vacation, تعملكم rewatch, then we shouldn't send you on summer vacation. We should have extensive work during the summer so they don't forget what you have learned the previous years.
Yes.
What do you think about that? Okay, so anti-cardiolipin antibodies. So what is cardiolipin? We said it is this complicated phospholipid that has two phosphatidylglycerol linked by a third glycerol, and the body produces antibodies against them. They are, exceptionally antigenic, a lipid that is antigenic, and we have them, you have antibodies against them in autoimmune disease such as SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, but also the bacteria that cause syphilis have cardiolipin, and you can order antibodies for cardiolipin if you're suspecting a syphilis infection. Okay, so we're done with this phospholipid, the glycerophospholipid, where the backbone is glycerol. And now we have two types of phospholipid. Either the backbone could be glycerol, or the backbone could be this nice molecule sphingosine that we will talk about in the next slides. Okay, so sphingosine will be the backbone in the sphingolipids. Okay, so this is an example of a sphingolipid sitting there at the plasma membrane. So they are, again, sphingolipids like phospholipids, they are constituents of the plasma membrane. They don't have a glycerol, but they are very similar in structure to glycerophospholipids, and no, they have the two tail and the head, but we have different type of sphingolipids depending on the head that forms the hydrophilic region, and we will see those in a minute. Okay, so the first type is sphingomyelin. What is the head in sphingomyelin? The head is going to be choline. Okay, so you have the head which is phosphoryl choline. So choline and the phosphoryl group. This is the head. Can you see the head here? And this is the tail. Can you see the configuration? Okay, so this is the backbone. This is the sphingosine. Okay, and this is the fatty acid. Okay, this unit, by the way, sphingosine plus one fatty acid, we call it ceramide. Okay, you need to know it because it will come in the future slides. So ceramide is everything in the sphingolipid without the head, without the choline head. Okay, so why you need to know about sphingomyelin, which is here, the head is choline. So sphingomyelin is a sphingolipid where the head is choline, and this is choline. Why you need to know about it? As the name indicates, sphingomyelin, where it's going to be present? In the myelin sheath of the nerve fibers. Okay? And you know what's the myelin sheath? I'm not going to explain it to you. Yes? You all know what's the myelin sheath? Yes, so it is the membrane that insulates all our neuronal fibers of the central nervous system. It's written here. Okay, so we talked about glycerophospholipid and sphingomyelin. And we mentioned that lecithin, which is the yes? Okay, we said lecithin, which is also a phospholipid, is present in the lung surfactant, right? So, and I mentioned that premature baby are at risk of having respiratory distress syndrome. You can order a test to know whether the lungs of the baby has matured or no. Okay, and this is L over S ratio. What is L over S? L is for lecithin over sphingomyelin. Okay, you can measure this in the amniotic fluid. So if it is greater than 2, it means that the lung have matured enough. So you don't need to give the baby or the mother further treatment. Okay? So lecithin, a higher ratio of lecithin. So if you have a higher amount of lecithin, it means that the sphingomyelin has been converted to lecithin, and the lecithin is the important constituent that you need for the surfactant to work properly, for the lung to be mature enough. Okay? So this is why you need to know about L and S. So L is lecithin, the phospholipid, and the sphingomyelin is another type of phospholipid, but the glycerol is replaced by sphingosine. Okay, so this is the structure of lecithin again. Okay? And what was the head in lecithin? It is phosphatidylcholine. Okay? It's the same head like in sphingomyelin, by the way. Okay, it's the same head, but what is the difference between sphingomyelin and lecithin?
The phosphate.
What is the difference? The backbone. Okay? So in lecithin, what is the backbone? Glycerol. In sphingomyelin, what is the backbone? Sphingosine. Yeah, في ناس مركزة. الحمد لله. Okay. So I mentioned about RDS. What's RDS? Respiratory distress syndrome. Okay? How can you prevent or treat RDS? You give steroid, dexamethasone, or you give the actual surfactant. Okay? It could be natural or it could be synthetic surfactant. Okay. We're done with the phospholipid. Just one thing before we move to the next type of lipids. Phospholipids are degraded by enzyme, and what will be the enzyme that degrades the phospholipid? Phospholipase. Okay, so phospholipases is the general class. For sphingomyelin, what will be the specific type of phospholipase? Sphingomyelinase. Very easy, baby stuff. Okay. Now we move to glycolipids. Okay. Did the phospholipids and the sphingolipids have sugar in them? No. So now we move to the type of lipids that has sugar in them. Okay, and we're going to call them glycolipids. Okay, so why they are all in one lecture? And they are complex lipids. Okay, they are derived from lipids. So phospholipids, they have phosphate plus lipid. Glycolipid, they have sugar and lipid. Okay? Type glycolipids. What do you need to know about them?
They have sugar.
Okay, they are derived from sphingosine. Alhamdulillah, we know what sphingosine is now. Okay, it's the backbone, but this time we said the sphingosine is made from or derived from a fatty acid and serine. Thank you. Okay. What is the similarity? If you look at the glycolipid here, what is the similarity between glycolipid and the phospholipids? They are very similar in structure. Okay, so they have a hydrophilic head and a hydrophobic tail. Here, the fatty acid forms the hydrophobic tail. They are very similar in structure, except what is the difference between glycolipid and phospholipids?
The sugar.
Okay, glycolipids have sugar. Will phospholipid have phosphate? Can be more easy. Phospholipids, they are lipids plus phosphate. Glycolipids, they are lipids plus sugar. And by lipid, what do I mean? Lipid fatty acid. Okay? Why you need to know about the glycolipids? In the backbone is sphingosine. Okay? What is common between sphingomyelin and glycolipids in the backbone here? Sphingosine. That's why they are, in the one branch here is sphingolipids. Why you need to know about that? Because we have two types of important glycolipids. We have the cerebrosides, Cerebrocytes, so where are you going to see them? In the brain. Okay? And gangliocytes, where are you going to see them? In ganglion cells. Okay, so again, they are important constituents of the nervous system. Okay? So the simplest one is cerebrocyte. What is the sugar in cerebrocytes? And then they are glycolipids, so they have to have a sugar. What is the sugar? Glucose or galactose. Gangliocytes, they are much more complex. We have many sugars in them. They could be glucose, there could be galactose, but several of them. But they also have to have a sugar derivatives that we will see in a minute. Okay? So cerebrocytes are very simple glycolipids. Gangliocytes are very complex glycolipids. Okay, so this is the sphingolipid, the glycosphingolipids. Okay, so they can see that their structure, they are made from sphingosine, and they have sugar, so we need to have a sugar, and they have the hydrophobic tail. Okay, so this is the sphingosine, just to show you the difference. So this is ceramide when you add the another fatty acid, so you get the ceramide. This is the sphingomyelin, this is the cerebrocyte, and this is the complex gangliocyte. Gangliocytes should have in them something called sialic acid. Okay, a class of molecule called sialic acid. Okay, and we will come back to this in a minute. Okay, so glycolipids, as we said, they are important. We said they are present, the cerebrocytes are present in the peripheral nervous system, high concentration in the myelin sheath. Gangliocytes also, they are mainly in the ganglion cells of the central nervous system. Their role is very important in the regulation of cellular interaction. Okay, so like adhesion, cell recognition, and cellular development. So they are crucial for the cells, but they are present throughout the body, but they are present in greatest amount in the nervous tissue. Okay, the simplest one is cerebrocyte. The most complex one is the gangliocyte. طيب. The cerebrocytes don't have a charge. We call them also neutral glycolipids or glycosphingolipids. Okay? So this is the structure of the cerebrocytes. So we can have a galactose in them. We can call them galactocerebrocyte, or we can have a glucose. We call them glucocerebrocytes. And why you need to know a lot about them besides they are important constituent of the central nervous system, etc. لأنه في disease, and the disease is the deficiency of the enzyme that degrade these glycolipids. Okay? And when we want to degrade these glycolipids, because like everything in our body, it has a half-life. So after certain amount of months or days, they